Hello again, everybody. I'm Chris Mooney, and welcome to James Brown Park here in Dalton, Georgia. I was a little surprised by that. Our start was a little delayed, and then she just threw it right at me alongside producer-director Blair Alfaldano. I'm Chris Mooneyham, and it has been that kind of a day here this afternoon. We went from copper tone and 75% humidity to pink umbrellas above my head and a water-drenched artificial turf here at James Brown Park in Dalton. It's the Southeastern 7-on-7 tournament, and thanks for joining us here on the PlayON High School Sports Network. It has been quite a day. We started with 32 teams here yesterday morning, about 8 a.m. Play kicked off with 4 pools of 8 teams apiece, and now it's been whittled all the way down to I guess 4 teams. The winner of this matchup coming up in this ball game between Ben Jones High School, and then Pierce County will meet Cartersville, right, Blair? Cartersville in the Losers Bracket Championship game, for lack of a better phrase, and the winner of that will meet MLK for the championship. The next 3 games inside this tournament will all be right here live on YouTube and the PlayON High School Sports Network. So now, as I'll ask Blair to pan out onto the field and we'll take a look at the 2 teams, we'll also get you set up with the key players for this afternoon's ball game. Remember the rules of the 7-on-7 tournament. It's just a passing drill. That's about it. It's basically like glorified practice here this afternoon. All passing, no running. There are penalties for pass interference and things of that nature, so we'll be running on a concurrently running clock. 25 minutes. The clock never stops. It'll stop for timeouts, of course, and sometimes for penalties, depending. But for the most part, the clock will continuously move. Pierce County Bears finished at 8-3 last year, lost their opening round playoff game. That's a team out of Blackshear, Georgia. Key players for them today will be Tyler Harris, a junior quarterback, one of the highly recruited quarterbacks inside the state of Georgia. We'll see Darius Foreman, Dylan Ville, Vince Elliott, Steven Stipe, just a few of the names that we're going to see here in this one, and some heavy recruits in this one as well. Pierce County won their region title last year, posting a perfect 7-0 record. On the other side is Ben Jones. The Patriots out of Madison, Alabama, led by head coach Kevin Rose, finished 10-2 last year, and they'll be led today by Kevin Wright, Ben Washington, 2 skilled players that will play a big-time part in this role. Big-time roles in this matchup is what I'm trying to spit out. Jay Rogers is expected to be here as well, the running back. So, how did the 2 teams get here? Let's take a look at the tournament brackets so far. Ben Jones came from the bottom half of the bracket, took out North Augusta, beat the Yellow Jackets, and then moved on to play Griffin. They beat Griffin as well. Griffin, of course, the famed Griffin squad here out of Georgia. Beat them as well, and then played Riverdale. Beat Riverdale, and moved on to play Auburn, who they also beat just a few moments ago. As a matter of fact, Auburn High School out of Alabama, of course, at the home of Reuben Foster. So Ben Jones got themselves into this championship. By the way, Ben Jones lost their first ball game of this morning to MLK, the team that is in the championship game. So Ben Jones has been playing with borrowed time all afternoon, working their way up through the losers bracket, as has Pierce County. Pierce County started their day with a ball game against MLK's B squad, whom they beat, but let me go back here. Yep, exactly right. They then took out Griffin. They lost to Cartersville. That sent them down to the losers bracket. Cartersville went on to play MLK. The winner of this one plays Cartersville coming up next, but back to Pierce. They then dropped to the bottom of the bracket, beat Fletcher, and now we'll take on Ben Jones. We got a little under 2 minutes left in our pregame festivities in the Southeastern 7-on-7 Championship. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the first play and the semifinal matchup, or quarterfinal matchup, if you will. The winner goes on to play Cartersville. The winner of that into the championship from Dalton. Both teams have now taken the field here at James Brown Park in Dalton. All right, one more time, 25 minutes. That's the time that will be on the clock. More rules. They'll start from the 40, as you see here. Bob Jones and Pierce County. Pierce County with possession first. And their decorated quarterback, Tyler Harris, drops back and throws a pass that is incomplete. Led by head coach Sean Pender. Took him about 6 hours to get here today from Blackshear. All right, back into the rules as Harris is standing in the shotgun. Man goes in motion. You need the 20-yard line for a first down. Looks, fires, and it's incomplete. So basically that'll bring up 3rd and 20. Got to get to the 20-yard line for a first down. The amount of completions you get is inconsequential. And then once you get over the 20-yard line, you have to go for the end zone. No traditional extra points in this one. You'll have to throw for that as well. From the 10-yard line for a point, and from the 15 for the 2-point conversion. Harris rolls to his offside, fires, got a catch, and he's touched down at about the 25 or so yard line. And that's the other big rule. It's two-hand touch, folks. If this is the first time you've seen us this afternoon, it's actually technically just one-hand touch. Just like being in your backyard. And weren't we all this skilled? Pierce has had a pretty good run. Again, a double elimination tournament here. 1-3 before losing their first. Fires caught. And he'll be touched down just inside the 20-yard line. So a first down for Pierce. Harris, the junior at quarterback. As I mentioned, 6'3", 205. Tyler's got Dylan Veal out there. 5'11", 190. Snap. Rolling left, pump fake. Look, got to get rid of it. It's got 4 seconds to get rid of it. Did anybody touch him? I don't believe anybody touched him. Unbelievable. He scored it right through the defenders. There were 3 Bob Jones players down there, and they all thought the other guy was going to touch him, none of which did. And so Pierce scores first. It's 6-0. How about that? Harris a snap. 3-step drop before he rolls to his right. Looks and fires, and incomplete. His receiver standing in the front right corner of the end zone, but incomplete, so it stays at 6-0. Pierce County out in front, 6-0. We've just started this one. Again, want to take this opportunity to remind you folks that we'll be with you the rest of the afternoon here from Dalton. Winner of this one takes on Cartersville in the loser's bracket. I always hate that phrase, the loser's bracket. But in the championship game of the bottom half of the bracket. Fires, got a chance at an interception, a battle by the receiver and the defensive back, and it's incomplete. And we may have a shaken up man on the play. Or 2. This tournament, a very good opportunity. High school coaches really starting to love these summer passing drills. They have the running drills, receiving drills, and things of that nature. But this 7-on-7 really starting to catch fire, despite the lack of running game and defense. Really gives a coach a good opportunity to gauge the level of competitive fire in the belly of your young men. And boy, they're hearing about it too. Don't know if you can catch the vibe at home as you're watching, but this thing is awfully, awfully competitive. MLK and Cartersville, about a half hour, maybe 45 minutes before we came on air, played a very, very entertaining ball game, and perhaps the most entertaining ball game of the tournament so far, a game that went into overtime where MLK won, was it 41-34, I think was the final? Maybe 41-35. But one way or the other, point being, both of the sidelines for the respective squads, a lot of energy, a lot of noise, fan bases really into it. Big pass here that's caught on the short gainer. He's tagged, and that's going to bring up a 4th and long. 2 incompletions, a short completion, and now about 15 yards shy of the first down is Bob Jones. Bob Jones, the team that won the championship last year, so they're no stranger to success here in Dalton. After they lost earlier in the tournament, some people thought they were gone for good. A catch, make the move. Can he get to the 20-yard line? This is going to be awfully close. Where's the spot? And we'll wait for the side judge to walk out and spot it. Boy, oh boy, you know they are going to spot him just shy of that 20-yard line. Now it's 4th down. You see a lineman out there wiping off the wet ball. Drop back, roll right, looks for the quick hitter, and he's got it. First down for Bob Jones, and perhaps a touchdown. Big man can't quite get to the corner. That was Rogers on the catch. 6-0, under 20 minutes. The second quarterfinal, or semifinal, depending on how you look at it. I say that, and a lot of you out there are thinking, wait, what did he just say? It's a loser's bracket ball game. Fires, front line of the end zone, and incomplete. Just 4 teams left in this tournament, so we'll call it a semifinal. Semifinal number 1, how about that? Semifinal number 2 coming up next. Cartersville versus the winner. Whoever wins that plays MLK in the title game. Oh, and an interception! Right at the end line, or right at the front line of the end zone, and an interception in this ball game, in this tournament, is worth 3 points. And so Pierce County now owns a 9-0 lead. That's the point of the tournament. It's a passing camp, for lack of a better way of explaining it. It's not just about the offenses getting the work in. It's also about a few linebackers, your safety men, and your cornerbacks as well. So when you're able to... Now, wait a minute. They wave off the interception. Oh, there was a flag down on the play. Thanks, Blair. Firing. Incomplete. And another flag down. Blair Outfold Dono helping me out today. Wait for the call. Well, every time the ball comes in, it gets dried off a little bit. It's an AstroTurf field. Very, very nice field, by the way. I was down there in between ball games. Very nice field, but awfully slick. Roll right. He can't run it. Got to fire it, and I don't know that he got it off in time. 4 seconds for each quarterback to get rid of the ball, by the way, if I have not mentioned that already. It's a 4-second pass rule from snap to release out of the hand of the quarterback. The crowds have thinned here at James Brown Park as the tournament numbers have been whittled down. Little jump pass into the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Bob Jones scores, and the Patriots have tied the score. An extra point coming up, and a chance for the lead. And they're going to go for 2 here. Nope, mark that, check that, just 1. Snap, look. Fired, caught, and he made the move. A good athletic move to make that catch on the shoestrings and then turn and extend the ball with the right hand over the goal line for the extra point. 7-6 now. Bob Jones, the visiting team designate, takes the lead. Pierce back out on offense now. Fires, caught, tries to make a move, and he was tagged immediately. Pierce County knows a little something about 7-on-7 tournaments. They host a tournament themselves in the same format. Harris sends a man in motion. Looks, rolls, fires deep. Got a man down here beyond the secondary and caught for the touchdown. What a beautiful, beautiful throw by Tyler Harris on the run, rolling to his right and finding his man beyond the secondary men for the touchdown. Great connection there, and you see why so many teams are high on Harris. Boy, this is such a great opportunity for these young men to hone their skills. And quite frankly, it's material that recruiters later on in the year are going to be able to take a look at, and Harris has impressed so far. Had a couple of shaky moments, but for the most part, been very good. Chance at the extra point. Got a man wide open and a great catch. A tremendous catch for the extra point. And just like that, it's 13-7. Scoreboard's got it wrong, Blair. It's 13-7. Just wanted to make sure you saw that. I'll tell you what also makes this tournament so inviting for viewers, whether you're checking us out on YouTube, on the PlayON High School Sports Network, or even if you decide to come out to one of these events. It's really fast-paced, folks. We've only got about 14 minutes left in this matchup. A little quick fire underneath. It is caught, and you see the quarterback for Bob Jones just throwing his hands up in the air. He says, hey, man, I had to get rid of it. Second and long. You know, they probably didn't get but about 2 yards on that one. Got to have the 20 for a first down. 13:45 left. Deep ball. A one-on-one, and it's incomplete. Need that one, and it's caught, but he'll be tagged immediately, just shy of the first down mark, I believe. Yep, got to have it. About a yard shy. It's a big possession here. 12.5 left. Looking, firing on the short fire, and it's caught. Very smart. That's all you needed. We'll pass out in the flat there. Looks. Got all kinds of time. Or has to wait all sorts of time. Obviously, with no rushers, he's got all kinds of time. Hits his running back out of the backfield. And a second down play coming up. Pierce with an opportunity on defense here to try and make a big play. Watch for Foreman to make a play down here in the secondary. He's creeping over there, but this pass is shy of the end zone, shy of Foreman, and just past the 10-yard line. A lot of high hopes for Foreman and his counterparts at Pierce County. Their head coach, Sean Pender, will be going into his second year this year. They really got on a tear last year. They finished 8-3, but they were 1-2 at one point. Won the rest of their regular season ball games before a first-round playoff loss. Floater into the end zone, a one-on-one battle that is caught. And a touchdown for Bob Jones. And all those games that Pierce won were inside the region. 7 consecutive region games to win the 2-2A title. Just the third in program history, as a matter of fact. For the 1 point extra point, and it's incomplete. Well, a lot of contact down there, but no call. We've seen a good amount of penalties called throughout this tournament, but very, very little pass interference on either side. Not very many penalties, obviously, that can be called in a 7-on-7 type format. They'll call the wide receiver for screening out and holding a defensive man from, getting the touch on. There's the penalty for the quarterback not throwing the ball in 4 seconds. Not very many penalties, but you would expect in a format like this that one thing you would be sure to see would be pass interference, both offensively and defensively, and quite obviously, mostly on the defensive side. And we have seen it, but surprisingly, a lot less than you would imagine. Harris now on a second down play. Boy, oh boy. Had a man wide open, his safety valve. And Tyler was looking deep there. And speaking for myself, a guy with a coach's mentality, I'm telling you that Tyler had his mind made up and was going deep on that one. Because he had the safety valve, and what it ended up being the call there, if you don't realize, he ended up being called for the 4-second violation. Did not release the ball 4 seconds after the snap. And he had a man wide open. Oh boy, nearly intercepted and batted away. Defensive man came over the top of the receiver. That's what'll happen when you got about a 5'8" guy, I'd guess, going up against a 6-foot guy. Well, speaking of big moments, 4th down here, 8.5-minute mark we're coming up on. In a 13-13 ball game, and Harris going to walk towards the sidelines to get a call from, oh no, pardon me, that's the wide receiver. Harris was clear over on the other side. Now he's behind center. Tyler. Got to have the 20. Instead goes across the middle and incomplete. So the Bears' offensive possession goes for naught here. Bob Jones stiffens on defense, holds and sets up an offensive possession that will start under 8 minutes. Let's see if they try for Ben Washington early. A 6'1", 190-pound wide receiver. He's here on the left side of your screen. Instead, they'll come back the other way. Find a man wide open. After a good split by the 2 wide receivers, boy, oh boy, what a crisp, clean, and smart dual route call that was. You had the outside man go wide and then break fully in, and you had the inside man on same side line up about 7-8 yards inside of him. He then cut back to the outside as soon as the break was made by his counterpart, and he made the catch and has given his team a first down. Snap. Looks, fires, goes the short route, and he's got the reception good for about 10 yards or so to the 10-yard line. A second down play. Bob Jones with the football in a tie ball game as we're under 7 minutes. So the pressure starts to wrench up, and you can start to hear the crowd start to build up a little bit. Both of the sidelines starting to build up and the coaching staffs as well, but they're no stranger to pressure. This Patriot football team, another completion. They're going to spot that about the 5-yard line. Yep. So third down now. Remember, they got to have a touchdown. Patriots 10-2 last year. Lost in the second round of their state tournament. And a penalty, pardon me. False start. Going to back them up. So now fourth down. Don't know how much of the natural audio you can pick up from around the park, but yeah, you can really start to hear the faithful for each team and the coaching staff start to make a little bit of noise. You see the call being made off the wristband. Coaches signaling in. Receiver set. Big fourth down play. 5.5 minutes left in this one. Tied at 13. Looks and fires. Incomplete. Just beyond the outstretched arms of his running back, Jay Rogers. And so Pierce County does what Bob Jones did just a moment ago and holds on defense. We haven't seen a whole lot of that. It's been about 50-50. It's been about 50-50. We've seen some games with a whole heap of offense and some games with not as much as you'd think. Pierce County now, chance to take a late lead. Right-hander fires. Caught. Made a good move, but they'll say he was tagged down right there. Very little gain on first down. Snap. 3 steps on the drop by the quarterback. Fire out here to his crossing man, and it's caught again. But yet again, a very modest gain at best. A third down play. Been pretty effective so far today. Boy, has that been effective today so far for Pierce County. When they've got Harris out and rolling off to his left, Harris has been so effective. Just had to kill a big bug up here on the chairlift for Blair. Fired. Caught. Good move to the big wide receiver and incomplete. Or rather, tapped down. Let's wait for the mark. Second down coming up. Blair, I'm trying to call a game here. You couldn't kill that spotter? She says, not so much. Harris now with a second down play coming up. Under 3 minutes left. Right-hander turns one way, fires the other, and it's caught. I'd say we'll spot that at about the 6-yard line. Yeah, about the 6. Pierce trying to go in and take the lead. Meanwhile, Cartersville getting to sit over on the sidelines and wait for the winner. Man in motion, the big guy. He'll be inside. Potential jump ball opportunity looking his way. Harris instead fires, and it's incomplete. Pardon my laughter. Tyler getting ripped into by his head coach over there on the sidelines. Head coach saw something that his quarterback did not, and his head coach was not happy about it. Clock still running, by the way, at 1:50 now. Tied at 13 in the first semifinal of the 7-on-7 Southeastern 7-on-7 tournament. Fires and caught. On the front line of the end zone, Pierce County takes the lead. 19-13. Big decision coming up here. Surely they'll just go for the one. And it looks like they are. Timeout called. Interesting decision here. Wonder what Kevin Rose is telling his defensive players from BJ High School. (19-13). At 1:17, Pierce coming up for the extra point. And a 6-point lead right now. Bob Jones will get their shot. So the clock stops with the timeout. Each team has one timeout in the 25-minute ball game. If we go to overtime, each team will have a timeout as well. So Pierce out of timeouts. Bob Jones got one more left, and they'll have possession after this. Fires, caught just inside the end zone. My gracious. The Bears have been making a living down on the front line in that front plane of the end zone. They've scored, I believe, 2 of their 3 touchdowns and both of their extra points down inside the front plane of the end zone within the first 5 yards. So now Bob Jones with their last chance. 45 seconds left, and they're going deep on first play. Got a man down there, and he's got the first down where he's touched at the 10-yard line. They'll rush down the field as the coaches are hollering the play from the sidelines. They'll get him to the sideline at 30 seconds. They've not used their timeout yet. Ball spotted at the 10-yard line. Kevin Rose calling in the signal. Snap. Right-hander fires. It's caught. And he'll be down at about the 5-yard line. Clock continues to run. 20 seconds. Again, the clock never stops. They do have one time. No, pardon me. They've used their timeout. Looking. Got to get rid of it. Fires. Caught in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Bob Jones has tied the score, or rather come to within 1. They've got to get this extra point off. They've got to hurry. 2 seconds. 1 second. Snap. Last play. Got to have it. End zone incomplete. The chance at the extra point is incomplete. What a finish in this one. Pierce County, the Bears from Blackshear, are going to the second semifinal. They stay alive in this double elimination tournament, and next up for them, the Hurricanes of Cartersville. Boy, oh boy. That is what, 3 out of the last 4 ball games that we've had here on the dueling fields in Dalton has come down to the last play of the ball game. 20-19 your final. Bob Jones falls to the Pierce County Bears, and Pierce County coming up next right here on the PlayON High School Sports Network versus Cartersville. The winner of that one on to the championship. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, Scott Janovitz will have the play-by-play story for Pierce County and Cartersville. I'm Chris Mooningham for Blair Affledano and our entire crew. Thanks for joining us. Cartersville and Pierce County coming up next on the PlayON High School Sports Network.